What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet 2. It's early morning, everybody's just kind of waking up, and it's going to be a brand new, beautiful day here in our little oasis, and I'm kind of excited. We are going to be adding in a very exciting new species to our zoo. We are going to be expanding the Arctic section of our zoo, and hopefully it's going to bring some people over that way, because when you look at this thing, I mean, obviously we have a ton of activity in this middle area, around these shops, and even some that, you know, kind of starts to filter out into our African section. But when you look over here towards our Arctic section, there's really not that much going on. Obviously, we've got the snow leopards over here, which they are super cute. Where are they at? We've got some babies over here, I guess. Look at these little snow leopards, you know what I mean? So, like, these guys are cute, but I don't think they're really drawing the hype. I don't think they're really getting it done. So we're gonna add some polar bears. That's right, baby. Take a look at my my animal trading that I've got going on. Take a look at our storage. I just bought these guys off of the market. Now, the thing is, it's starting to get really, really tough. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We have pretty much like high profile animals left that we want to do. Like, there are some smaller species we might end up doing, but in terms of ones that I want to do, reticulated giraffe, western lowland gorillas and chimpanzees, Arctic wolves, polar bears, reindeer, Siberian tigers, giant pandas, Indian elephants, the list goes on here. I've got about like 10 of them left that I definitely want to do, and we'll kind of see where the series goes from there. But these are all like heavy hitting, super expensive, and not even just expensive, but very hard to come by on the marketplace. So like, if we go to the animal market here, you guys can see we're currently looking at polar bears, but like, this one's not bad. We actually could have used that one. But when you see a lot of these, the fertility genes and all the genes are not going to be very good, and if they are decent, they're going to be super, super expensive. So like, it's getting hard to find some decent genes and some decent animals to be able to bring into our zoo. But I feel like we did a decent job with these two that we have. So we've got our female is a Tickasuck. And you guys can see here, again, not perfect, but she is a bronze medal. She's young, only 6.9 years old, and she's 50, 92, 83, 50, which isn't bad. Now, for Amaruk, our big boy here, he doesn't actually have a medal. He's got a good rating, but no medal. But you guys can see high fertility, and we should be able to have some babies out of this. If we take a look at their Zoopedia and take a look at their breeding, you guys can see they live to be about 35 years old. And they can have babies all the way up until 30, which is pretty solid. So we've got a good, 15 years, if not more, out of these guys. Possibly 20, maybe 25. I don't know. We'll see. But you get 1 to 3 offspring per event. And it's going to take 9 months for them to, kind of be born. But then there's a 36-month break in between. So we have a few mating opportunities, but it's also going to go by pretty quickly. So we want to make sure they're very happy, very healthy, and in good spirits to give us those babies so we can keep this zoo going. So that's exciting. What is this important alert that requires attention? He's starving. Hold on. I'm gonna send him back to the trade center. Dude, the zoo, as we've been expanding, I'm not gonna lie, we've been getting really, really weird things happening. Like, I'll call keepers over to exhibits, and they won't feed the animals. The animals are getting weird about literally nothing, and they won't even eat if there's food there. I don't know if it's because we've expanded too much and like the game is kind of glitching out a little bit or what, but that's just kind of a little pro tip. So we sent him to storage. We should be able to bring her right back in here, send her right back to the habitat, and that way she won't be starving. Hopefully at some point, I mean, I already did it before we started this, but I'm gonna call another keeper. Hopefully he's gonna come take care of it. But yeah, you guys can see, like, these guys are stressing out for no reason. There's one-way glass. They can't see outside at all. They have no clue that they're being watched. I guess this one right here, this particular panel needs to be made one way. I guess it already was one way, but we just had to flip the side on it. But yeah, let me make sure none of the other ones are like that. No, it looks like they should be good. There should be no reason for them to be stressed. So, yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of weird. We've been getting some weird issues and weird little glitches and bugs and stuff happening. But hopefully we're going to be okay. I'm not too worried about it. We are going to move on to building a beautiful habitat for our polar bears. So the thing is, when it comes to polar bears, these guys like a ton of space. There's no doubt about that. I think they want 6,000 square meters in their habitat, and then they want at least 2,000 square meters of water. So this is gonna be quite the undertaking here. And I am going to kind of base it off of our camel exhibit over on the left. That's kind of how we pulled this thing off. Just like that. All right, so that's kind of our base here. I think this might be okay. Honestly, I'm not sure. We'll find out. But we're gonna lay some fence down. They need a level 4 fence, which is gonna be our steel mesh. We're gonna run this along this entire area, and it should be pretty cool. I definitely felt like we had to do kind of an elevated walkway type deal with this because, I mean, 6,000 square meters, that's gonna be an absolutely enormous setup. You know what I mean? So I wanna make sure that people are gonna be able to see it properly and that we aren't gonna have, you know, upset customers that can't really see the polar bears. So I'm gonna bring this all the way back here. Looks like we might wanna be around like 18 meters or so. Bring it back to the pathway, and boom. All right, bam. There we have it. That's the start of what we've got going on. I'm gonna say let's do a habitat gate over here. Might be our best idea. So we can set it up kind of like that, and let's see how big this habitat is. Hopefully it's gonna be big enough. 8,000 square meters. So hold on a second. That's actually not even gonna be big enough, dude. I mean, technically it is exactly big enough. You know, 6,000 square meters of land and 2,000 of water. We're gonna have to make this even bigger. This is crazy. I'm just gonna take this part out and we're just gonna extend it this way. But yeah, I mean, technically, you know, we would have been exactly where we needed to be for the land and water, but I would rather not mess with it, dude. I can't believe how big this is gonna be, to be honest. Like this is slightly ridiculous. I've been thinking about making a kind of an all Africa setup. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Do you guys think that's gonna be enough? I mean, we could give it a try. I don't want to make it too big, but yeah, I was thinking about doing that the you know, all African with, like, you know, copy and zebras and giraffes and stuff all running together. And I thought that was gonna be a big habitat. I didn't know. I mean, I know that polar bears like to roam. I guess this totally makes sense. They're up there in the you know, Great White North, where there's really nothing up there, so they just travel tons. So it totally makes sense. I just didn't really think that it would translate into the zoo like it is. You know what I mean? But it's still exciting. I got a feeling our AC bill is going to be through the roof for this. Gonna have to keep it in between 10 and negative 20 degrees, and we're here in Africa, so obviously that's going to be a bit of an expense. All right, so we've got a new habitat there. Let's see where we're at now. We are at 10,752, so that looks a little bit better. Gonna start with some elevated terrain back here in the corner. Definitely don't want it to be too boring. We're obviously gonna have a lot of water, so we wanna add a little bit to the land as well. We probably should have thought about doing this before adding that fence, although I'm wondering if we raise the fence, will it just come out of the ground? It will. Perfect. Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit janky, but we're gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna kind of make them a bit of a cave, you know, kind of a little spot for them to hang out in down here. We could even kind of push the ground a little bit lower just to give them a little bit more space, something to get away from all the people. Nothing too crazy, nothing too deep, but just something that they can kind of go down in there and kind of do their thing. Get a little bit of protection from the elements and from onlookers. I feel like this will look pretty nice. Now that I think about it, I think we've got to get rid of the habitat gate right here, and we're gonna have to put it in over on this side, because the way we're gonna split this up is basically like dry land on one side, water on the other side. We might have like a couple little islands and stuff like that, but we can't really split it up too much. We want to have like one big body of water. So if we had it like it is now, then the keepers would be coming into the water section. So we're gonna bring it over here, and we're gonna throw in our new habitat gate on this corner, which should work just fine. Looks good to me. I guess we had kind of have a little path we could delete over here. Can we get rid of that? Beautiful. Make it look nice. I guess we probably want to get rid of the palm tree, because they aren't really very common around polar bears. Okay, cool. So now that our dry side is complete, obviously we're gonna have the cave here and a little hill for them to play on. We'll have kind of like a little dry area that's gonna have their food and water and everything else, and maybe some toys and stuff. The wet side is gonna be on this side, like I said. So I think I mean, let's just make it like a big ocean. You know what I mean? Like we're just gonna make it like they would typically have, like, you know, on the coast of Alaska or Russia or wherever we're gonna pretend that they're from. So let's grab our terrain tool here. Let's push down. Let's not be too crazy. You don't want to make it too deep. Is something like that pretty good? See, that might be a little bit. It's honestly not that bad. All right, I'm gonna rock with this. We're just gonna set this up as a big ocean, and then we're gonna theme it well though. We're gonna have like icebergs and floating snow rocks and stuff like that throughout, so it's going to be kind of cool. Smooth this out. Make sure all the edges look nice. The smooth tool is clutch, dude. See, like all these weird jagged edges, we can get rid of these, kind of make it a little bit smoother. And let's see what we're working with water so far. That is, I think it's going to be close. We've got 3,500 square meters of water and 7,500 square meters of land. That's actually pretty solid. All right, I like where we're at so far. We obviously need to add some coolers in. We need to get some snow in here, and we need some theming. So we're gonna go into our habitat, heaters and coolers. Dude, we are gonna need so many they better bring the hype. They better bring a lot of people, because the electric bill is gonna be through the roof. So I'm gonna say, I guess we could leave it at 0 degrees Celsius. And we're pretty much gonna have to have rows of 3 of these all along. We're just kind of connecting the dots, so we want to make sure that every single square inch of this thing is covered by these coolers. Both because it's gonna make the animals happier, and because we don't want the snow to melt. Now, to be honest, I'm really not sure how water works. I don't think you can cool the water with these coolers. So I think we may be good on the waterfront. I'm gonna put them along here so we can have snow along the bank. Or actually, we could probably just do snowy rocks. That'll be a way to kind of cut back on some of our costs. So hopefully the bears don't actually go up over here. I don't think they will. I think we should be good. All right, so we've got that. I do have one thing in our blueprints that I found in the Steam Workshop, which is kind of cool. So we're gonna take a look at that. I've got a polar bear sign, which is kind of exciting. So where do we want to set these guys up? Looks like we could put them right here. That looks pretty nice. Know that you're going into the polar bear exhibit. I like it. It's starting to look a little bit better here. I'm happy with how it turned out. I don't even want to know how much this is actually going to end up costing us in terms of power and electricity. We better hope that transformer over in this section of the zoo is okay, and it's not going to fall apart on us, because it's really going to start taking a toll. So we've got all that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be able to bring in our terrain tool, and we're just going to paint snow everywhere. Max size, max intensity. I mean, this is the polar ice cap, baby. It's all snow all the time. We can't put snow in the water. I think the snow on that side's gonna melt, but we'll put rocks there instead, and we'll see how this looks. Hopefully most of it's gonna stay in there. It does. All right, not bad. Let me see what these guys like. So I'm gonna go into our Zoopedia. And they like Canada, USA, Greenland, Norway, Russia, and Iceland, and the aquatic and tundra biomes. Unfortunately, I don't think there's gonna be much. We've got Labrador tea, which are like these little white flowers. We've got willow bushes. We've got these trees, which, I mean, actually, you know, these are pretty cool. We can work with these. So I'll set up a few of these around the place. You know, make it look kind of nice. Don't want too many of those though, so we're gonna do those 3. Looks pretty good. And then, I mean, like we've got mossy rocks, we've got reeds. I guess we could do water lilies, but I don't know if it would be too cold for these to actually grow. I'm gonna throw them in there anyway, because we don't really have many other options. So I'll put one there. We'll put kind of like a group over here. I mean, we could probably find some like dead trees and logs and stuff we could throw down. Could be kind of interesting, but yeah, we got a nice little group over there. I mean, we could kind of, I don't really know if reeds would grow up in the tundra, but we could put a bunch of those down, and then we could go grab the reeds and kind of put them behind it. See, the thing is, I don't think they grow like that, but at least it gives us something to look at, and it's not just a big snowy barren wasteland, you know what I mean? Like, we want to make it look kind of nice. So we're gonna throw down a bunch of those. I mean, that doesn't look bad over there. Kind of gives them something to look at. We're definitely gonna put some rocks in the water. I mean, apart from that, we've got these little bushes. Could kind of put these outside of their little house that we're gonna end up building. Something like that. We've got these. We've got coastal mangrove trees. I don't think those are growing where polar bears are. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We've got caribou moss, other little like bearberry bushes and stuff. We could kind of, I'm gonna throw down a couple of these, and we might grab some rocks later and put them around some rocks. But I mean, overall, this is pretty barren. So we've got ice rocks or snow rocks or tundra rocks. We've got lots of opportunities here. I feel like the ice rocks are kind of weird. I mean, let me throw one of these down. I guess they're not bad. We could add a few of those in just for effect. But really, I think the snowy rocks are the cool ones. So I think I'm gonna set up a ton of snowy rocks along this back side back here. That way, even though we don't have snow and we're not paying for extra coolers over there, it still looks snowy. And listen to that sound, dude. That is a glorious sound. It sounds like you're packing snow. I love it. I mean, this is cheating. We could just throw a bunch of these snowy rocks down, and even though it's not cold, it's still gonna look cold and snowy. This is kind of funny. I mean, it's not as simple and easy as the actual snow, but at least it kind of extends the habitat a little bit and makes it look a little bit more legit. Bam, dude, look at that. That actually looks super, super nice. I'm happy with how that turned out. And I think what we could do is kind of make some floating icebergs throughout. You know what I mean? So let's have some of these guys just kind of floating around. We'll make some interesting looking icebergs and stuff. I like this big flat one here. I guess we could have some slightly larger ones. We could even, like I said, we could potentially grab one of the ice ones. We kind of want all big ones here. See, the ice, it looks a little out of place to me. I'll let you, I mean, I can kind of respect it, but I also kind of think it looks weird. So, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it. So that looks pretty good over there. Now we're gonna work on their little humble abode here, and I think I'm gonna do a mix of the snow rocks along with a lot of tundra rocks, and we could even kind of paint some of the snow on here as well. But basically, I'm just gonna make them a little cave. Nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. But we're gonna make them a cave. I feel like this turned out kind of cool. I went with a slightly different look than we normally do. I've got kind of like a more flat, I guess a little bit less natural, but kind of a almost like a build look to the top of this thing. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of cool. I kind of like how it turned out. It's a little bit more unique, and it's just kind of something we hadn't done before. So I like the idea of doing something a little bit different. So we can definitely set up some flowers and little bushes and stuff up top. Maybe add a couple more large rocks. But yeah, I feel like this thing is, I feel like it's kind of cool. You guys can't see it. It's a little small, but I feel like it should. I feel like it should be more than enough. So we're gonna set this up in here like this. Kind of make it look nice. Make the front edge of it kind of go on a nice little curve there. Make it look all legit. Get this snow back here. Don't want to be sleeping in snow. And bam, there you guys have it. I mean, I kind of like that we did something a little bit different here, and I feel like it looks pretty good. I am a little bit worried. Is the back half of this too close to the fence? Are they going to be able to jump that? I'm not sure. I guess just to be on the safe side, we should probably push this down a little bit. Plus, it's gonna give them a little bit more space to roam around back here. I think they'll kind of appreciate that. I think we need to do a better job of making it a little bit more of a gradual curve, and then we've got a floating thing now that we're gonna have to put down on the ground. I like it, dude. I mean, this is a snowy tundra in the middle of Africa that we've been able to build. It's, you know, we've got flamingos and we've got polar bears right behind it. Kind of a funny combination, but I feel like it turned out pretty cool. I really like the fact that we have the mist coming up from behind the polar bears here. Did you guys see that? The snow and stuff. That's pretty sick. All right, cool. Anyway, I think we're ready to bring these guys in here. Let's. I'm not really sure what to expect. Let's see what they think of it. I doubt it's going to be perfect. I'm sure we're going to have to make some adjustments and stuff, but I feel like we've got a good start, and we'll see how picky they are. It's kind of towards the end of the day, so the sun is low in the sky. We don't really have that bright sunlight I would have liked to see these guys, but looks like they're being added in for the first time. Which one is this? That is that's Amaruk, our male, and then we've also got oh, look at the little one. What's up, girl? We've got Tikasuk, our female. All right, so let's see. I mean, first things first, shoot. We literally just lost all of our sunlight, but let's go in. We're gonna take a look at our vet research. Looks like we've got some research complete. The African elephants are getting up there. Let's get one of our better vets on this and make sure that she's researching into polar bears. And then we'll see, I mean, we've got a lot going on. We've got ostriches maturing. They're probably going to be in, you know, it's going to be crazy over there. Okay, give me a second. We're going to have to take care of this first. So we're going to take a look at our ostriches. I think we had a big, like, you know, breeding session. Lots of them were born all at once, and we're going to have to get rid of some of them because it's going to be overcrowded. So we're going to take a look at all the recent young adults. Oh, my goodness, dude. Oh, my goodness, dude. Are you kidding me? I'm just going to say we could just release all these to the wild. 580 credits just like that. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna go through them. I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to take a look at our polar bears. So it looks like everything but enrichment is perfect. Let me take a look at their terrain. Terrain is good. Looks like they want a little bit more land. I guess we lost some of the land area. That might have to do with some of their bedding, because technically that's not land area for them to be able to explore. Enrichment's down. Coverage is good. I mean, we could have done more coverage, but really, what kind of coverage are you going to do? Everything except enrichment, and we could kind of make the water a little bit smaller. Honestly, it's so close. I don't even know if it's worth changing. I really like our water setup, but I kind of don't want to mess with it. So we'll see what we can do. But let me see in terms of habitat enrichment items. Let's see if we know anything for polar bears yet. Even though we haven't done any research. I guess we know from like the grizzlies and stuff, we kind of know what bears like. So we could do a bamboo feeder kind of out here. We could do a fire hose ball out here, a large soccer ball over here. I'm gonna do a barrel feeder over next to this tree. We could do a gift box, I guess, over next to that tree. We could do blocks of ice kind of over by the water. I wonder, can we put a block of ice out here? I guess our keepers won't be able to refill it, unfortunately. That would be cool, though, if you could like have them swim out and get up on it to be able to get it. But yeah, we've got all that. Large snowball. I mean, why not put a snowball over next to the water? I feel like we're kind of placing random toys and stuff all over the place, but I don't know what else there is for us to be able to do. Looks like we're up to 94% welfare, boys. Everything is good. Enrichment's 100%. Looks like, I mean, temperature and everything is good. Cleanliness of the habitat could be improved. That's going to happen as keepers come in and kind of fix it up. Space is at 91, so that's the biggest concern for us, is the space and stuff. We'll probably fix it up. I want them to be as happy as they possibly can be. First, let's grab some food and water. We're gonna put a water pipe over here, along with a large food tray close to the door, so our keepers can get in and out quickly. So we've got that, and then I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to come into our terrain. We're gonna delete this water. I think we might have to kind of move these over a little bit, and I guess our best bet's probably just gonna be to kind of bring this out a little bit. Bring this out Give them a little bit more space. Oh, shoot. Some elephant love is happening right now. Let's go, baby. You love it to see it. Now, hold on. I do have other good news. I forgot to tell you guys this at the start of the episode. Marjani here has offspring due December of year 50. So coming up here pretty soon in a couple of months. Now, my boy here, what's his name? I forget his name. Thyme, he's been going ham. He's now got the other one pregnant as well. So we've got 2 sets of elephant babies on the way. Dude, I am so excited about that. That is amazing. It looks like we also just had some Komodo dragon babies. Whew. Even though we're talking about polar bears today, there's lots of other exciting stuff happening. So I'm gonna take a look at the Komodo dragons here. See if any of these guys have any good traits. Ooh. Really not great. I guess Ismaya here is our best option. So these other 2, I guess we're just gonna release them to the wild. Dude, the Komodos, they really aren't that great, if you want me to be honest. Like they take a lot of food, they're very expensive, they're not very hype. Like people don't like them that much, they don't really draw too much attention, and you don't really get much for them, even though they take a while to mature. So I feel like in terms of most of our animals, I don't want to call them an investment, but that's really what they are. They're not really that great of an investment, but I guess we'll work with it for now. Anyway, guys, the sun is about to rise on a new morning here, and I feel like we did pretty well. You guys can see the polar bears, they are very happy. I mean, really, meal quality, that's always bad the first time that a new inhabitant moves into the zoo because we don't have research on them. We can't give them good food yet, so that is going to be improved, but apart from that, I mean, literally everything else is great. Looks like temperature sometimes will drop randomly because they're in like the very small area in between the coolers. Like if they walk through this section right here, they're gonna get a little bit hot. I wish you could have a cooler that just like covered the entire thing, but you don't have the option for that. So we've got to work with what we work with. You guys can see I did add in a ton of just like little snow piles and stuff throughout. Those are actually covering up the coolers themselves just to kind of hide them and make it look a little bit better. If we had a ton of coolers sitting like this, that's not very pretty. But if you put a little snow pile over top of it, it looks a little bit better and a little bit more legit. Is that a cooler or is that... Nope, that's a hot log that he left for us. All right, cool. So I think that's gonna do it. You know, we could add in a few more trees and stuff, but at the same time, I don't want it to get too crazy. I want people to be able to see them. You know, if you're up top here, we have a ton of trees. You're not gonna be able to see the actual polar bears. So I think this is beautiful. I think we did really well. I wish we could have kept the bigger water option. I liked having a ton of water over here, but I feel like it still looks pretty good, and I'm happy with how it turned out. So hopefully you guys are too. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If there's anything you would add or change, let me know. But for now, I'm going to see you guys in the next episode, and we're going to take on our next animal. I'll see you guys there. Peace out.